Herb, have you talked to many of the teachers in town?
Well, I've talked to about 50 or 60 on the telephone today, Jess, and the reaction is one of shock and dismay at the resolution passed by the board. They have suggested all sorts of courses of action, from a sit-in on August the 17th to a strike to all sorts of things. And we are assuring them that the executive board and the faculty representative assembly will meet and deal with this situation so that the organization will have an official position and give direction to whatever events happen in the next few days.
Oh,
I think the restrictions are rather tight. They've limited them to the first and third Sundays of every week. I'd like to see it open every week. They have required that the amplified music be turned off at 9 o'clock, and they've required that the youth pay Fort Worth city policemen $5 an hour to police the park. The number is to be set by the chief of police, has been talked of anywhere between 5 and 10. The young people feel that because this is a public gathering in a public place, and the police are public servants and public officials, that they should police this for at no cost to the young people, and I tend to agree with them.
The best friends of these Dallas County creatures are now formally organized into the Dallas County Horse Council. This group came into being because of an impending Dallas City ordinance to limit or restrict the keeping of horses within the city of Dallas. The chairman of the Dallas County Horse Council is Charles Kalish. Do you hope by your organization to try to make it possible to keep a horse such as your mare Tess in an ordinary city-sized backyard?
Of course not, Teal. It wouldn't be feasible for everybody to want to keep a horse in town any more than everybody wants to have a motorcycle or an airplane. What we would like to do, more than anything else, is to come to some workable situation within the scope of the ordinance proposed so that we can make some proposal to the Planning Commission. Whether or not it'll be based on square footage or acreage, I can't say at this time because I don't know. But we'd like to propose that a certain size area should be necessary in order to keep 1 or 2 or 3 animals.
Do you think that you can, or do you plan to try to fight an ordinance in general?
Indeed not. It wouldn't be feasible to do so.
First, we have asked all employees of the department to divulge to us the existence of any properties, any real properties other than their homesteads owned by them in the city of Dallas. All of our personnel have cooperated fully in making such a disclosure. We have then examined very carefully and with a most critical eye the condition of every property acknowledged owned by people who work for this department.
Do you think that perhaps there may be more violations that have not been disclosed? Do you plan an investigation, a thorough investigation, to determine that there are perhaps or are not some that have not been volunteered?
Let me say in this regard that as much as we would like to think that we have found everything, we are going to continue to look and make all appropriate examination where probable cause exists into the ownership of all properties of personnel of this department.
We who may or may not have supported Mr. Price and Mr. Stroman in the past believe a grievous injustice has been perpetuated. An attempt has been made to assassinate the character of Mr. Price and Mr. Stroman by innuendo and insinuation under the guise of freedom of the press and, quote, extensive investigation. In our opinion, these are the tactics used in a totalitarian type regime. We extend a vote of confidence to these two fine citizens of Pleasant Grove and Dallas and demand complete retraction and apology from the attacker and his employer. If they do not, we recommend legal action be taken in an attempt to redress the wrongs committed.
We hope to enlist the aid of the medical profession. The medical profession is probably the most highly qualified person to recognize the alcoholic. There are certain patterns of behavior that the alcoholic follows in relation to drinking. And we hope to try to publicize these for the people who don't recognize them so that they can be referred to a treatment facility such as we have. This is a very big problem in trying to educate people as to what is alcoholism, what is not alcoholism, what is a drinking problem. We say that anyone that has a drinking problem or a problem that lets alcohol derange their physical or their mental well-being or their job or marriage or their social functioning does have a drinking problem. And in all rights, they are alcoholics. We don't like to use that word alcoholic because to most of us, it means the skid road bum. We'd like to get away from that terminology.
Well, I think it's beautifully located, really, and a beautiful asset to our national involvement in housing. I'm very proud of it, and we're going to do everything possible to get more involved in the Dallas area, hopefully, to help those that are in need of housing and to assist our country in any way we can to provide for our minority group.
Do you feel that the minority groups are waiting in line for this type of housing?
I think so. They need to be educated some. We realize this, that the fact that we build a new house does not in itself solve the problem. We do need to get involved in the area of teaching our people how to make use of this housing and how to keep it and maintain it, keep it in good shape. And this is what LULAC is wanting to really get involved in too. And I might say that at the present time, we're setting up a national housing corporation that may become or make this type of project a reality in other towns. We're looking forward to this involvement this year.
Do you really feel that there has been an attempt to assassinate his character?
Yes, I do. The best information that we're able to obtain from some recent polls, and these are in the possession of Mr. Price, according to Mr. Price, that Mr. Price is a extremely popular political candidate in this area.
Have you gone beyond Mr. Price in seeking answers?
Mr. Strong.
Between the two gentlemen,
Between the two gentlemen.
have you gone outside of them looking for answers on this issue?
To what?
You're the one that is accusing us of a character assassination and a great injustice, and I would assume you would go beyond the men in question in seeking an opinion.
No, in that we are unable to determine a foundation or a grounds for such accusation or charges as leveled in the news broadcast of 2 or 3 nights ago.
How far did you look for foundation?
As far as the news broadcast, we were completely unable to determine that there was any foundation to it.
Taking action, they may refer some of these people to you.
Occasionally, the probation department may refer young people that do not have charges filed against them to the Youth Services Bureau. Our primary contact, though, will be with young people that have various problems before they actually come into conflict with the law.
Do you have that kind of rapport going with the young people, Reverend Kirkpatrick? Do you think young people will actually come and tell you, "Preacher, I think I'm in trouble and I need help"?
We're not asking them coming directly to me at this point. This Bureau does have very strong ties, I think, with the various agencies that do have trust and rapport with the young people, and we hope to have workers in the community that can actually identify with young people and their problems, and would be coming not to a central agency downtown or somewhere else, but with street workers on the scene that are able to relate to young people in this particular project.